This morning I thought I'd just come and check some of the tracks down towards the back of the block that we've got. Unfortunately, none of them join up. That's one of my jobs, is to get all the different tracks joined up so we can get from the front of the block to the back of the block. They're just old logging tracks. Anyway, as you know, we've had a lot of rain. We've had a lot of wind this last several weeks. So just coming up along this track, I've already cleared one tree off the road, and then I just come across this. So first I thought, oh yeah, bush, but then I realized there is this massive boulder right there. So that's fallen down from up there somewhere, come crashing down through, knocked this, and now I've got this massive boulder there. That is a huge boulder. So I've got to work out how I'm going to get that off the track. First things first, I'll clear away these branches. We'll get a better look at this rock. So that is a really big boulder. Look at this. So it's about 5 foot across. I could try and lever it, but I doubt it's going to roll very fast, so I might try and see if I can use the winch to pull it. It may roll off. It may roll back this way too, but we'll just see if we can move it. If we can't, it's just going to have to stay there until I can get the tractor up here or something. Tiny little bit of movement, but yeah, even though the bottom's rounded, I thought it might teeter a bit. No, it's sitting pretty heavy there on the dirt. I'll try the winch. Okay, that went quite well so far. One of the things I was watching there, and it did work to my advantage, was that rock, as I pulled it down, was sliding further off the road. Very, very steep drop off behind me right here, and I was well aware that if that rock went off the edge, was it going to pull the car over with it? So I stopped it well before it got to too close to the edge anyway, because yeah, as it was moving towards the edge, I had that thought, like, holy gee, that would just be a disaster, wouldn't it? Make a good video for Funny Stone videos, I'm sure. But anyway, the rock's down there now. It's far enough off that I can get around that rock now, which is great. So I'm going to get around the rock and I'm going to proceed. Another one down. This ain't a little tree. I should be able to pull this one out the way. And I can already see there's another one just down there. So I'm just heading down to the creek. Got to fill this bucket up with some water for the dogs. We don't have too far to go. Okay, time for some more track clearing. This time, I know there's at least 2 trees that are down across the walking track I made down to the river. I haven't been down here for several weeks, so there could be more. So I'm just going to wander the track with the chainsaw and we're going to clear that track up so we can get back down to the river. Be interesting to see what the river's like after all the flooding. And here's where our first tree is down. So my track's supposed to go through this way, so I need to clear this out. Right, so I started cutting up this big tree behind me. It's right across the track, and I thought I'll cut up from underneath because I knew it was going to drop. I'll cut up from underneath. I'd already cut in from the top a little bit, and that way when it drops it'll come apart, but it's still pinched. So I've just been back to grab my other blade and chain. I'm going to need to take the chain saw, the unit, the engine part, off of that blade that's stuck, put it onto the other chain, continue to chop up from the other side until I can free that blade again. It's happened to me a couple of times, but I should have brought wedges down. Guess what? I brought wedges down this time when I went back to get that blade, so I won't make that mistake again today. Two for two, because I realised the log was trying to roll that way, not that way. It closed in that, it didn't close in there. Now I've got to try and get this out. Okay, probably taken me a half hour or so. I've managed to get that chain out, got it back on. That large chain, it's been up here for ages and I haven't used it, so it was a little bit rusty. It's very blunt. But I'll have to make the most of it. Now I'm going to start right at the thinnest end and work back. I don't want that getting jammed again. Well, made it down to the river, and I think there might have been about 4 or 5 trees down in total that I had to clear out. And yep, she's running fast. Check this out. Back up at the rental property now in Brooklyn, and we've got 2 of the veggie patches up here. These are the raised garden beds, so we just got to decide where in this area we're going to sit them, and then we'll start getting them filled up. And like I said, we're going to do a technique called Togl culture, which means we're going to lay a lot of that timber in on the bottom first, then we'll put in more soil and then some compost in on top, cover it up with straw, with hay, as like a bedding right on top. That'll help keep the weeds down and keep the seedlings warm, keep the soil warm. So we'll get that started now. So I think we're just going to put them right there. It's a fairly level part of the veggie area. We've just got this area here, which is quite sloped, but that little area is quite flat. There's already a lemon tree here. We've got some lemons on, which is pretty cool. We've got 2 sorts of fruit tree here. I'm not sure what they are. We'll just have to wait and see. And we've got some raspberry canes, and I've got some asparagus in that pot right there. We'll keep the asparagus in a pot so that we can take it up to the block and plant it, because that's one of those long-term crops. So let's get this started. get the gate, please. You just need to lift it up a little bit as you push it out. Well, that's one done, and we're out of dirt. So this one will have to get done another day. We'll bring another trailer load of dirt down from up on the block. I think it's time to take a break today. Okay, well, that's just about the end of this video, but I just thought I'd share a little story with you. So the other day I was up here, just come up to do a quick little bit of work, and no, I didn't have the video camera running. I should have, would have made some great footage, but see this big log down here? So this log used to be on top of these two posts here. You might remember from previous episodes when I used the tractor and lifted that up. We're in the dog run. So I drove the tractor through here the other day, forgetting about the rollover bar. And the rollover bar hooked onto that and dropped that log on my head. How it didn't kill me, I have no idea. I had a huge lump on my head, bit through my lip and my tongue and everything. Didn't get knocked out. I was very woozy for a while. Anyway, I was up here by myself. I had the EPIRB in my top pocket, so if I needed to, I could have used it, but I didn't. I was good enough to get in, drive back home. I got Kay to take me to the ER. They did a CT scan, and lo and behold, there's actually no damage at all, not even a concussion. So must have a head like concrete, I reckon. Anyway, I definitely learned from that. I could have sworn I'd been in and out through here before with the tractor, which is why I didn't even give it a second thought. On reflection, I remembered having the tractor on both sides of that gateway before I put the fence in, so I would have gone around. Anyway, I will not make that mistake again. I definitely learnt from that one. So that's it for this week's episode. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe, share it to other people. You know, I'm sure there's others out there that would like to see what we're doing here. And I hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.